All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We begin another week of commercial real estate investing. I'm busy studying my information, taking notes, and sharing a little bit here and there when I can. As a someone who's learning for the first time himself, I'm not really allowed to share too much because of the people that I'm sharing, that I'm studying from, right? Because this is their system. I'm just gaining the knowledge. And as I gain it, I want to share a little of that knowledge with you guys. And today I want to talk just a little bit about, let me first say my name is Larry James, my company, Speak with Larry. My website, speakwithlarry.com, and my email address is lowercase Larry 5969 at sbcglobal.net. Okay, having got that out of the way, I want to talk just a little bit about when a person begins a journey in commercial real estate. There's normally a process or I won't say process. There's normally a way that you do it. You start out doing this, and then you eventually move up to doing that, right? What this is wholesaling. Wholesaling is different than investing. Investing is when you buy and you're able to hold for a period of time. Wholesaling, you never take actual control of the property other than putting it under contract. Now that contract is a process or a binding agreement that allows you to sell that property that you have under contract to another buyer. And so why would someone who's interested in commercial real estate use wholesaling as the beginning point of gaining the knowledge and getting the understanding of the commercial real estate industry, right? That may be a question you want to ask. Well, let me answer that question. First of all, if you don't have the credibility or you don't have the funds available to put down 20 to 25% on a commercial property, because that's normally what it ranges between 20 and 25, normally 25% down on the commercial property that you're interested in buying. So if the property is worth $1 million, 25% of $1 million is what? $250,000. That's quite a bit of money, right? However, there are other ways of accessing that money. One of the ways is getting a loan, right? Another way is to start out with the wholesaling process that allows you to gain the knowledge, because the knowledge is the most important of all the assets you're going to acquire, even money. Having the knowledge is going to be more relevant than the money that you acquire. And let me give you a simple example. A typical profit for wholesaling a residential property, whether it be a single family, a duplex, a triplex, or fourplex, is between $2,000 and $10,000, which is not bad money, right? All you're doing is finding the property, putting the property under contract, and selling the property to a buyer. And when the buyer goes to closing, you get feed out. You get a fee. And that fee is based on what you determine that you're selling it to the buyer from. Now, for commercial property, which are fiveplex and up, 5 to 100, 200 units, that profit ranges between 10,000 and 75,000. So that's a big difference when you're looking at, you're doing this for the first time and you have zero money and you're gaining the knowledge and the information, and you find a property and a seller that's willing to sell that property to you for a certain price, and you put that property under contract and you find a buyer that's willing to buy that property for a certain price, that could give you up to a $75,000, and sometimes even more, $75,000 payday. Now, if you don't have good credit and you don't have any money in the bank, and you're able to get a $75,000 payday, that puts you in a whole nother thought process as to what you want to do next, right? Do you want to go and find another wholesale property, or do you want to now invest in an actual property that you control, right? Or like for me, in my case, I want to master the wholesaling process, and I want to build my team of people based on the wholesaling process more so than the actual investing of the 200 unit or 100 unit apartment complexes, right? Actually, for a wholesaler in my industry, the what we call the sweet spot is between 5 and 20 units. So if I find a property that has 10 units and 8 of them are already rented out, and the cash flow is positive and the expenses are low, that would be a good deal based on your understanding of how to do the numbers to determine whether or not it's a good deal. Because a lot of times you'll see that a property that makes sense to you, but when you do the numbers, it makes no sense. So you have to be able to do the numbers, and that you can't just pass that on to someone else, because people are people, right? You have good people and you have bad people. So just because you do business with someone doesn't mean that they're unethical. So you have to determine whether or not they're ethical enough for you to do business with, right? Because it's not all about money, because you're building an actual system here that you're going to be able to just insert properties to, good deals, and then it'll flow through to the buyer. Insert properties, it'll flow through to a buyer, and they'll make a decision as to whether or not what you have is valuable enough for them to pay that price, or whether or not they're interested enough to drop $500,000 on a property, or whatever the price is, right? Because when you're dealing in commercial properties, the numbers can go up really, like $3-5 million. And so it's really essential that you know that you're doing the numbers and you're getting those right. So with that being said, I want to say thank you again for watching these short clips. I'm just sharing what I'm learning. Hopefully it's not too much for you to grasp. And if it is, just keep watching the video. You'll begin to learn more and more. And if you can't afford to invest in your own mentor or your own system, just start following, just Google some things and it'll guide you to a place where you get a better understanding. I'm actually putting definitions of commercial real estate on different sites this week so that you can understand some terms and definitions that you may or may not be familiar with. So stay tuned, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a great week, and we'll talk again in a couple of days. Bye.